Hello, everyone. Wow, it's been another year. 2023 is almost over. What a crazy year. For me personally, a very good year because I finally found employment at the beginning of this year and have gotten a indefinite contract since August this year. So that's really good. But that's like personal stuff. But other than that, game wise, it's been a very nice year as well. I did a lot of different games for a lot of different consoles and revisited a few things as well here and there. And I actually gained a few new followers on Twitch, which is always nice. People that come in regularly to check out my stuff. But let's go over all the things that I played. And at the end, as always, I will tell a little bit of things to come in the next year. And I have a few special things planned, which I will go over. But starting off at the beginning of this year, I played the Goblin series. The first three games. Or rather, I think that's the whole series. But still, I played all three games. I did play them for YouTube a long, long time ago, but I never streamed them. And since my chat is really liking the point and click games that I've been putting out recently in the last year or two, they asked if I could do this for stream. So I did, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. We got through the first game relatively quickly. Second game gave me a little bit of trouble, and the third game was a breeze because I knew exactly what I was doing. But it was still a lot of fun, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So now I've been able to share the Goblin series to more people, which is always good because they are really, really fun and silly games, and more people should know about them. After that, I played the original, I can say that now, original Super Mario RPG on the SNES. And that, of course, was also a great time. I played that because two people in my chat are really big fans of SMRPG, and it was great. Did almost all of the content except for the casino because I forgot actually how to get in, but I did everything else. All the optional bosses, everything max level, got all of the gear minus the 100 jump one, and in general, it was just a really good time. And the funny thing is, after I streamed that, then came the announcement that the remake was coming. So, coincidentally, that happened. And by now, the remake is out. And from what I hear, a lot of people seem to really enjoy it. So, that's always great. I really hope that this boosts the chances for more SMRPG games to come out or games with characters from this game, because there are a lot of funny characters and a lot of great characters that I think deserve more spotlight in Mario games or just games in general, but we have to see. At the very least, I'm really happy that the remake happened at all and that I was able to stream the original, which is still a fantastic game. After that, I conquered a arch nemesis. Not going into detail too much because I already did so in the actual stream of this game, but To the Earth is a ridiculously hard game for the NES where you use your zapper, your light gun, to shoot at spaceships and other obstacles, meteorites and whatnot that come on the screen. And it only has 4 levels. The first level is actually pretty easy. The second level already becomes pretty challenging. The third level is really difficult. And the fourth level is more or less just straight up bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. I tried for an entire stream for like 3.5, nearly 4 hours to beat that thing legit. And with legit, I mean do not use save states, do not use continues, just you and your zapper, and then just do it and aim. And at like a little bit over half of the stream, I was not even able to beat level 2. I think I got to the boss like once or twice, and I just died because it's like I said, it's a ridiculously hard game. In the end, I decided to use checkpoints, like save state checkpoints, at the parts of the game where you are able to relax a little, because there are checkpoints where you just basically have like a pause screen where you can just take your put your zapper away and take like a little stretch and just walk away and do a little thing. I made like artificial checkpoints there with save states. I was able to get past the second level by using that. And the third level, I was able to do that without crazy over save stating, just without like abuse, just using the actual checkpoints in the game as save states to use them, like to go from checkpoint to checkpoint, and that way just get to the boss. Not save stating during certain sections, not save stating during the bosses. I was able to beat level 1, 2, and 3 like that, and it felt good. I was like, okay, then maybe this is not so bad. Maybe I can just use checkpoints and get through the whole game. Then level 4 happened. Level 4 is, without a doubt, the most ridiculous sequence of events I've ever seen in an NES Zapper game. Oh my god. The amount of things that come to your screen in the patterns and the speed, you are literally unable to react as fast to hit everything, and you go down so fast. There are very few checkpoints in that level. I think there's only like 2, maybe 3 at best. And very little time to heal as well. Because the way how this game works, if you shoot enemies, you gain a little bit of health. If you miss, you lose health. Hitting enemies consistently in level 4 is a nightmare. I've tried over nearly 2 hours in total to beat level 4 legit. With I mean just using the actual save states in the points where the game pauses. Could not do it like that. I, in the end, for like the last half hour of the stream, had to reside to using save states at like in between sections where there was a very small moment of relief. And even then, it was flat out insane. The level is ridiculous. The amount of healing you get is super small. Like barely checkpoints. The boss is ridiculous. And the ending is also ridiculous, like in a bad way. But I mean, I did it. I tried beating that game for on and off like nearly 20 years. Not like 15 years. I got it when it came out on my NES, my actual NES. Could never beat it there. I never got past stage 2. Tried beating it loads of times, came back to it years later, over and over and over again. I got past the second boss, I think, once or twice on the actual NES. Never beat stage 3. Years later, tried to play it casually. Didn't get past stage 2. And then one time I did a what if, just for the lols stream of this game. Couldn't beat it. Couldn't get past stage 2. And then at one point this year, I was like, okay, it's time to beat this monster. And I actually did. Yes, I used save states, but at least I saw the credits, and I'm just happy I could say that I beat this stupid game, because it's just... The first 2 stages, okay. Third stage, with a bit of stretch, you can beat, like with a normal zapper. You need to be really good, but you can. Fourth stage is just nonsense. I've seen a lot of games in my time, but that was just nope. I don't agree with that. But okay, that was To the Earth. I was rambling a bit too much, but honestly, for a game that's been haunting me for so long, I'm just glad I can say I saw the credits and I can like get it, like put it behind me and just get it out of my system. And okay, I can say I've dealt with that game. So let's move on. F-Zero GX. Man, what a fantastic game that is. I had so much fun unlocking everything, even the ridiculously very hard challenges. I did everything. It took me a while, but I beat everything on very hard. I got all the pilots, I got all the trophies, I got all the custom parts, I got all the ghosts unlocked. Did not beat them all, but I unlocked them all. And in general, just, oh my god, that game was so amazing. It took me a little bit, like 2 streams to actually get the technical difficulties worked out, because it is a little hard to stream that game properly, but I got a proper stream set up in the end. And yeah, for like 10 streams. That was an amazing experience. I'm so glad I streamed it, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. Like the many characters, the music, it was just a fantastic ride. Pun intended. After F-Zero GX, I played something that was requested for me from a long-time fan watching, and it was Parasite Eve, a very interesting and very unique, like PSX or PS1 RPG, where you take control over a girl that with the like is infected with a certain. I'm trying to remember the story, but like with a certain pathogen, I believe. But instead of getting sick, she actually gains like some sort of power to alter some energy in her body to create what they call like, it's not really magic, but it feels like magic, and yet you're able to like use it to kill enemies and level up. And it has a very unique ammo and gun system to upgrade your guns to fight with. It was a very unique and very interesting experience, and I'm glad I played it because it's considered a cult classic, and I enjoyed it. It had good music, it had a good story, even if a bit weird, but it was unique. I liked the uniqueness of the whole thing, really. And it was the first game I ever played that like talked a lot about mitochondria, which is which is like a subject you really don't hear in games. So yeah, was great. Was a good game. Can recommend. After that, I played Pokemon Ruby randomized. And like always, that was a chaotic mess, but it was fun, and that was also the first time I tried a couple of new settings in the randomizer. And I have some good news for the next time I'm going to do the randomizer. There's actually an update to the randomizer, which will even allow more chaotic things to happen, which I will definitely make use of. So sometime next year, I plan to do another randomized run, so you can see even more chaos unfold either on YouTube or Twitch. After that game, I got chat introduced to Civilization, the first one on MS-DOS. And I was a bit skeptical at first. Like, I was thinking, this is a building game. This is not going to be interesting to chat. This may be a dud. This might be something only I enjoy. But I came up with a thing that where people in chat could like volunteer to be a mayor of a town, give it a name, and make decisions. And that way, like everyone in the chat who wants to volunteer becomes a mayor of like a bigger group, and like they interact with each other and like they discuss and they make choices and vote. And I think that was a really good idea because it actually made a very interesting experience and people really enjoyed it. And I actually have streamed multiple Civilization runs throughout the year, and it was always a great success. And now I also have the second game up and running, which I will also try out sometime soon. So yeah, I'm glad that people in my chat seem to really enjoy good old Civilization because it's a great game and it needs more love. If you haven't heard of Civilization or have never played it before, I can highly recommend it. It has like a steep learning curve, sure, but it's a lot of fun. And it actually has an expansion. It has I think it may have an online version you can also play, but I recommend the MS-DOS version. It is great. It is a fantastic game, and it has many sequels, and many are saying 2 is the best sequel in the franchise, which I agree with. So if you want to have the full Civilization experience, try the first one to get like a feeling for everything, and then eventually take the effort to try and play the second one because it is a phenomenal experience. And there are like I said, there's like expansions for that one. There's probably custom maps for it. There's a lot of stuff. You can even make your own maps for it. It's like endless content. If you really like Civilization 1, I can recommend the 2, like the sequel, even better. But yeah, I played Civilization, and I'm glad that a lot of people really enjoyed it because it's one of my childhood favorites, and I'm always happy that I can share childhood favorites with others. After Civilization, I streamed Hollow Knight. A very known game at this point, but I did beat it before, and I played it before casually, but I never streamed it. And I was like, this game is like good enough, cool enough to share it with my stream chat, who most of the time don't play many platformers on stream, or rather Metroidvania in this case. But yeah, I'm glad that at times, like, I focus on the more obscure stuff, like To the Earth or goblins and other things. And sometimes I just pick something that is like a fan favorite or like a well-known game, like Hollow Knight. It's not unknown at all, but sometimes I just pick something that is a bit more mainstream or like relevant or currently popular to showcase it to my stream chat, to my Twitch chat. And that makes me happy that I can like vary between different kinds of games in terms of popularity. After that, I played, or rather, we played Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Me and a bunch of friends got together, did voices for all the characters, and it was a blast, as always. It was a ton of streams, I think like 14 or 15 streams, which is like two streams a week. That's like 7 weeks. So that is nearly 2 months. But it was amazing. Everyone did a great job, and I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to do the voice acting project for the next one, which will probably be sometime next year, which is going to be just the Spirit of Justice. Let's see. Then I did a rather small like game. Actually, I did 3 games. The Jill of the Jungle trilogy, like all 3. I did it in one stream. They're not really long games, but they're classics. This is like one of the very first platform games on DOS I ever played. And I was like, how come I never streamed this before? This is such an iconic game, and it needs to be shown to the world. So I did. It was fun. It was a bit cheesy, it was a bit clunky, but I liked it. And I'm glad I was able to stream the entirety of the Jill of the Jungle games. And they're still like, they're not like super amazing, but you know, for the time they came out, they are perfectly fine platformers. And the music is once in a while still like has some decent tracks. So honestly, pretty nice for those who like retro platformers. Give it a try. It's not bad at all. I for Halloween played a little bit of Phasmophobia with with like my sister and a good friend of mine. We played a little bit of Phasmophobia for the stream because we have been playing Phasmophobia once in a while, like usually once, sometimes twice a week, just because we really like the game. And I was like, maybe I should try it for Twitch just for Halloween. So we did. It was 2 streams, and it was fun. We basically did like our usual thing of finding ghosts and goofing around and upgrading stuff. But honestly, it was good, and I may do another repeat of this at some point if people really want to see it, because I had a good time, and so did my friends and my sis. So, yeah, that is something I can also add that I have been playing recently. I've been playing Phasmophobia now for over a year almost, which is a game I thought I would never actually play, but with 2 good people with me, and 2 of which I know very well, it's actually pretty fun. I had a lot to learn at first, and I died a lot at first, but it's a game I've really grown into, and I'm glad that I'm able to play it with 2 people on a regular basis, and I was able to stream it as well, and people seem to enjoy it, even though I had to explain a lot. It was a lot of fun. Then the other game I played for Halloween was a really odd one, Michigan Report from Hell. How do you even describe this thing? It is a really strange, yeah. It's almost like a rail shooter, but you're not shooting, but things happen and you have to like react to it, and you're the cameraman, and you have to decide what you like record, and you have to guide your journalist buddy more or less to safety all the time. It has terrible voice acting. It has a really weird plot. It has basically no gameplay other than you like looking at things and telling people what to do. A really odd game, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of corny fun. It was super cheesy, and it was just a very bad but also hilarious experience. If you haven't heard of this game or haven't played it, I can recommend just going in blind and just face palm at all the weird stuff that's happening and just go with it. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. It was a really wacky, silly little game. It took me like 2 streams to beat, so it wasn't even that long. But honestly, it's a really it's one of those games you have to like see to believe. It was interesting, at least I could say that. Then I played my annual Castlevania game, which was this time Symphony of the Night. What can I say about Symphony of the Night? It's one of the best Metroidvanias ever made, one of the best Castlevania games ever made, one of the best PS1 games ever made. It is fantastic in so many ways. The music, the controls, the sprite work, the backgrounds, the terrible voice acting in the European version. Like, there are so many things I can say. Symphony of the Night is just an iconic masterpiece that still holds up to this day. And I really enjoyed going through it on stream, beating all the bosses, 100% map for both castles, getting like the best gear that doesn't require crazy grinding, and just in general had a really good time. I love Castlevania games, and I love Castlevania Metroidvania games. But this was sadly the last one that I did not stream yet. In terms of like 2D Castlevania, I think I'm done. I've streamed them all. Except for like the 1 and 3. But those are not Metroidvania games. Those are platformers. Also not 4 or Bloodlines. I still have to stream Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness, which will happen at some point. So there's still more Castlevania to come out of this channel, but I am slowly running out of Castlevania games to do on stream. After that, me and my sis had a ton of fun playing Spy vs. Spy on NES. I have to have a Let's Fail at least once a year. That was the one we did this year. It's a classic game where one spy puts bombs and whatnot in certain cabinets or in rooms, and the other one does the same and tries not to die to his or the other one's traps, finding items and then getting the heck out of there. It's a very classic, very silly game, and it's just, in its simplicity, it is really fun to play with another person. It is great. We also played the second one, which came out on the Famicom, which I found an English translation for. The something Island Caper, I think it's called. That one was okay. Had some interesting things with it, but I want to say the first one is still better. I didn't hate the second one, but I think I prefer the first one for various reasons. But still, it was a hilarious stream, and I'm glad we did it. And we'll be back with more Let's Fills next year for sure. The semi-last game that I played this year was Monkey Island. The return to Monkey Island. Actually the newest one, which came out, funnily enough, last year. I streamed the entire Monkey Island series. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and Tales of Monkey Island. Cleared them all, and I was just about to finish the last one, and then came the announcement that there was not going to be a new Monkey Island game. And I already had other things planned, so this one was not going to be right after my whole Monkey Island craze, of course, but I decided to do it this year to still have the Monkey Island lore and character stuff in my head and kind of fresh. So I really, really enjoyed this game. It has a lot of charm. It has a ton of reference to all the other games, and it's just a fantastic playthrough. It took me 4 streams, which is not that much. It was not super hard like the second game. It was also not super easy, like what I thought was the case with some of the parts in the Tales of. But in general, really good game, solid voice acting, loads of humor, loads of references, a great point-and-click experience. It's a fantastic game, and I would not mind seeing more, although I'm not sure if they're ever going to make more. I have to see. Still, Return to Monkey Island is a fantastic game, and I'm glad I streamed it. And currently, I am playing Evolution Worlds on the GameCube for a stream. I'm I think 75, maybe 80% in at the time of this recording, so I might finish it before the end of the year. I'm in the final dungeon, which is a really big one, so I may or may not finish it this year. I'll have to see. Either way, Evolution Worlds is a really quirky and very awkward, somewhat strange dungeon crawler RPG where you have a party of 3, you go through dungeons, you kill enemies, you level up, you learn new skills, you find equipment and stuff. It's pretty basic, but there are some really quirky mechanics in the game that I really can't go into detail much. If you want to know what's up with the game, come check the streams and or check out the VODs and or check out the YouTube stuff once it's live. Should start uploading the first video in like a week, or at least either the end of this year or the beginning of the next year. But it's a very strange little game. I found it randomly when I was in my GameCube days, just looking for new games, and I'm glad I did, because it's a really awkward game that is not bad. It's just a little strange, but in my opinion, it's pretty okay to play, and it is decently challenging at times. And yeah, I like it. It's because I played it as a kid. I may have nostalgia for it, but I think it's a pretty good game. So that was the entire selection I did this year. That is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 games of various lengths. Like, the longest it took me is obviously the Phoenix Wright game that took for like 14 streams. The F-Zero took me like 12 streams. SMRPG took like 7 or 8 streams. I think 6 streams for Castlevania, and some were like 1 streams only, like the Spy vs. Spy, or the Civilization, or the Jewel of the Jungle. Now, to quickly wrap things up, what am I gonna do for next year? I have a couple of things lined up. Let me get my list to do. Here we go. So, I already mentioned a few things while going for the list. Like, I want to have another Phoenix Wright game next year. I want to have another Let's Fill with my sister. And I want to have another Pokemon randomizer, just to name a few things. But there's also other things that I want to plan next year. And I'm just going to say it. I am now able, with all the hardware that I have, to stream the entirety, all 9 games of the Metroid franchise. I am able to stream Zero Mission, Prime 1, 2, 3, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Other M, Fusion, and Dread. I will do that sometime next year. All 9 games, back to back. The entire Metroid franchise, the official one. Which is going to be a big project. And as for the Let's Fails, we have a couple of things planned. We want to go ahead and play Kirby's Air Ride. We still have a Golden Axe game we never touched. And we want to revisit some classics, like Bubble Bobble, BC Racers, Life Force, Snake Rattle and Roll, Trog, just to name a few. Like I said, I will also try to see if I can get Civilization 2 running sometime next year. There is the Castlevania Lament of Innocence, which is planned as well. Banjo-Tooie is coming soon. I have a Rygar game for the PS2, Star Fox Adventures for GameCube, and so much more that I really can't say at the moment. I have over like 80 games on my to-do list. I'm not going to run out anytime soon. There's going to be more games added. There's going to be new games coming. I'm not running low on Steam at all. So, that is going to be basically my overview video. And I hope that you guys are enjoying my content as much as I am making. That's as much as I am having with making content. I love doing these videos. I love playing these games. I love sharing them with everyone. And I always smile when I see people in my YouTube making comments saying they love my stuff. I always smile when I see people in my Twitch chat saying they like what I'm doing. And that keeps me going to do more and more every year. So for the time being, I'm going to take a little break in terms of uploading. I will probably resume uploading at the beginning of the year. So this will probably be my last video of 2023. I will still stream though. I stream actually tonight, the Friday, what is it? The 22nd. I stream today, I stream tomorrow, and I stream next week. I'll just keep streaming the whole year, basically, which is just 4 more in total. But in terms of uploading, I will probably take a small break, because then I can focus on some other things, and, just enjoy Christmas. Speaking of which, I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas, and or happy holidays, And thank you all very much for the support, for the comments, for watching either YouTube or on Twitch. And I'll see you all hopefully soon, wherever you want to show up, either YouTube or Twitch. It's fine with me. But thank you all very much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.